and welcome to episode 34 of the Yarnniffler podcast. My name is Sam. I'm a university student from Belgium. I love to knit and crochet while I'm not studying and sometimes while I'm studying. You can find me on Instagram as Wyffels and on Ravelry as Yarnniffler. Let me put that just there. I love to talk about all the yarny things, like I say, knit and crochet. At the moment, it's mostly knitting, and I'm also doing some cross stitching again, so I'll be talking about that as well. And for the rest, I'll try to link everything I talk about down below. And if something's not clear, or you want to know more, or you have a question, or whatever, just send me a message on Instagram, Ravelry, or leave a comment, and I'll try to help you out. Okay, I think that's everything. Today we are the 13th of December, so it's Thursday, and it's about 11:30. So I had an exercise session just passed, which is now finished, and now I'm just recording this before my next class at 2. So yes, I have 2 FOs to show you, 3 whips, a couple of plans, and a lot to talk about just all around. But first up, what I'm wearing. Let me try to stand up. So as you can see, I am wearing, this is, let's see this. This is a full length, like to the floor maxi linen skirt, which I love. And this sweater is the perfect size. This is the Ursa by Jacqueline Cieslak, and I made it in Holzgarn Cielo. The color is Elegance Black, and this is one I got on sale from Holzgarn when I really wanted to work with this yarn, and I found out this was the perfect yarn for this pattern, but I only had so much. So this sweater works perfectly with dresses and like with the skirt that sits very high up my waist. And I made size 5. So I'll link my Ravelry page. I saw that I did not have a picture. I went through all my Ravelry pages and wrote down which ones do not have a picture. Some of them I have taken pictures, but just they're not on Ravelry, and some of them I have not. So this is one of the things I will be doing in, so I have 1 more week of classes after this, and then I have 3 weeks before the exams, and in my breaks I will be taking some pictures and uploading them to Ravelry. So that's coming. If you're like, I found the project page but there's no picture, I know, I slacked off sometimes, so trying to catch up with that. Okay, then let's go to finished objects. I have 2 of them. One I just finished yesterday evening, and one I finished on Monday. Let's go for the one I finished yesterday. This is the one. It's almost, it's not blocked and it does not have buttons, but it's like the ends are sewn in and everything's done. So I count it as finished enough to show you here. So this is my Aosta cardigan by the Knit Pearl Girl. So last time, let me see. Okay, so last time I was here on the body, and I think I started a little bit on one of the sleeves. So what I did after you saw it last time, I finished both sleeves and then did some calculations on how much I could go further on with the body. So this is where I was last time on the body. So I finished the whole body. Where you see this little duck hanging is when I started weighing my yarn in like every row until I had the 4 row pattern repeat to know how much yarn takes roughly every row. And then I calculated how much yarn goes roughly into 1 stitch. I calculated how many stitches I would have for the bottom band, I would need for the bottom band, how many rows, to see how much yarn I would need for that, and so how much longer I could make the body, so I had still enough yarn for the bottom band. So the bottom band is 1 by 1 ribbing as well, and as you can see in here are the holes for the buttons. So there are no buttons on it because I do not have my button stash here. Excuse me. So for those who don't know, I am a university student, which means I during the week I live close to campus in like a house with 13 other roommates, and during the weekend I go home, and like most of my yarn stash is at home, except of like the projects I really want to work on, and my button stashes at home as well. So I'll just go home tomorrow and choose some buttons, sew them on, and block it, and hope it's finished for it's dry until Sunday when I come back, that I can wear it next week. Okay, the size I made in this one is size H, and I used Wyffels from by Istex. So this is the one in color, I don't know if you can see, 1233, and I was filling this in on my referee page, and the color name they have for it is Space Blue, which is like perfect. I really love this blue color, and this is very rough, like next to skin. I'm not completely sure if I can like wear it, but if I wear, like, it's a v-neck. I don't know if you like, let me try to show you it like this. So as you can see, it's a v-neck, so I think if I wear a shirt that's a little bit higher, of course, it will be no problem. And probably I will be wearing another sweater underneath it, because it's a very warm one for outside. And now, last week we had snow. The snow is done. Like, it's 10 degrees, 7 degrees, so it's like, it's cold but not that cold. And when it's not raining, I think this will be perfect. So I really want to wear this in this time before hopefully we get some more snow, or it just gets very cold. Okay, so that's that one. And then let's see. So the thing was, I had 8 balls of this yarn that I bought in a sale at my local yarn shop in my hometown, because the owner is retiring, and I think it's about 1 or 2 months more, and then the shop is closing completely down. And I took all the balls in this color that were there. There were other colors, so let's try to make this sentence sound more. If I didn't have enough yarn to finish it, I was thinking about finishing the ribbing on the hem, on the sleeves, on the cuffs of the sleeves, and the button band in another color. But I worked out and could have probably done like 1 or 2 more repeats, but it's like the perfect length at the moment. I can always, like, I have to take out the whole button band and then take out the hem to do it again. So I'm like not wanting to do that at the moment. So I'll keep this, and who knows, maybe I need to repair something or whatever, or it can go in a scrappy project. So like, this is maybe 20 grams, 30 grams, I don't know, I have not weighed it yet. So once it's weighed, it'll go on Ravelry as well, how much I used, but it's like perfect, like the perfect amount for me to have used. What do I want to tell you about it as well? I used 5.5mm needles for the body, or like for everything, and then 5mm needles for the ribbing. In the pattern, I think it's a 7mm that's recommended, but I got gauge, and I even think I had a gauge that was smaller, so that means that my garment would be a little bit bigger. I did a lot of calculations to get there, but I tried it on. It fits almost perfectly. It will almost not grow, maybe a little bit in like width, but almost not so like in length. I am completely fine with how long it is. Maybe I'll stretch it a little bit, but that's because it's a non-superwash yarn, so they tend not to grow. So my swatch also didn't really grow, so we'll see. But if it grows a little bit, it will be good. If it doesn't, it will be good as well. So very happy about that one. And then my second finished object is a cross stitch one. It is this one. Okay, it's not completely finished, because I trimmed the edges of the fabric, but like you see, I still have to glue them down. But I just didn't want to buy glue to then just have a bottle of glue here, because we have a lot of glue at home which I can use. So I'm gonna be taking this home with me as well, and then I can finish it completely. So let me hold it closer to you. So it is this plant cross stitch by it was a kit by Rico Designs. Let's see. So like, yeah, I'm having other so this is what I have left over from the threads, and this is the brand. I'll definitely link the kit if you're interested in it. I bought it here in Belgium in Veritas, and they have different ones. I think they have a unicorn, a rainbow, and a different plant as well. But this was the one I loved the most, so this is finished. I have another cross stitch that I already finished that I showed you, I think about 2 months ago or something. And I'm working on another one which I'll show you in whips. And I am thinking about, as you can see, maybe, so for those wondering, so I have this ladder up here which goes onto a kind of platform that extends over the hallway that's there, and that's where my bed is. So I sleep up there, and I have these very high ceilings, as you can see, and I have all these pictures, and I'm thinking about, so here above my coats, of hanging some command hooks, like the ones that you're not, this seems to be so command hooks that you can just pull down again when I will be leaving here. And I think I'm gonna be putting my cross stitch over there and just like filling it out as I'm making more of them. But like these small ones I really love. They go pretty fast if you are like really working on it, and yeah, they're so cute as well. So finishing this and putting it up there, maybe in one of the next ones you'll see it hanging there or not. I'm not completely sure yet what I'm gonna do with it, but very happy. Okay, those were my FOs. Then let's go into whips. I have the same ones you saw last week with progress, of course, and then a new one which I said is my cross stitch one. So first up is my northeasterly blanket. So this is a magic egg I have. So from like all of my scraps from the last how many years I've been knitting. So like these ones are the oldest ones, and then from here on out they are like, I think even from these ones, not completely sure, but I think so. This was where I first started, and I think from, because these ones I knitted before those ones. So these were sock scraps. So these ones are scraps, but like, let me show you, it's pretty long. Like these scraps are whole scarf scraps from this shawl. But like, I'm thinking from somewhere here on out, they are starting in chronological order, and definitely from here. So let's see. This is the, I am tangling myself. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what I did. Oh, it's just wrapped around the needle, that's it. So I'm losing 3mm needles, these just double pointed ones. I don't know, I bought them. One is sharper than the other one, so I have to like make sure when I'm increasing and decreasing I'm doing it with the sharper needle. But now that I've got it, it's good. Okay, let's see. So last time you saw it, it was just in the red, so this is all I have done, and then I have these other ones to show me on like on which days I did how much, and like this is how much I did in a week, and I only did this much this week because like this morning I showered, and then I didn't have knitting time before I went to class, and like on Monday I was still at home and I took the early train, so I did not have it with me. So yeah, it's just showing me how far I am, and I'm really excited. So at the moment I'm working with this yellow, but I love like pulling out the yarn from the middle and putting it on the outside of the cake to see how much I have left until I change colors. And as you can see, then I have this gray and this pink, which were from the same project, but then I have a blue, and after that, as you can see, I have my rainbow yarn from my rainbow blanket, from my rainbow dress, which I'm very excited about because I know those are small scraps and I want to work them into my blankets. So yeah, this one is getting smaller and smaller, this cake, and you'll see later on, I will talk about it. I have some new scraps to add to it, and I have a whole basket at home which I put in all the leftovers from this last year, and then around Christmas time, when I want just like a lazy morning or something, I am going to make a new magic knot cake to go as this one's finished I can keep on going. So yes, that's that. So I'll see. Maybe I won't show it to you every week, but maybe once a month if I've worked on it. I have to decide what I want to do with it. But I have enough stitch markers to mark everything I want, so that's fine. Then let's see. Next up are my Selbu socks by Ellie of Skein Knits. So these are, or this is the one that I have. There, this one is looking very cool. Like you can really see the pattern coming now. Last time I was, my notebook almost fell. I was here, so I finished a whole pattern repeat and started a new one here. And also, let's see, I don't know if you can see it, there's a stitch marker hanging here. From here on out I started with the gusset increases. So I don't know if you can really see it, but yeah, you can see it here a little bit. There's a triangle forming, so I am doing the gusset increases, and then I will be at the heel, and yeah, we'll see. For this one I worked mostly on it. I think last week on the train I decided I wanted to watch Vlogmas and knit on this on the train because it's a small one, and my Aosta cardigan was at the stage where I was working on the body with both sleeves finished, and it was like sleeves everywhere, and it was just very busy train ride. And if somebody was sitting next to me, which did not happen, but I was considering it, it would be annoying for them if I would be changing over like once I finished the row or something. So it was like, this is small, portable. I went for this one. The colors I'm using, the yarn is Filcolana Areta, so the sock yarn from Filcolana, which is just a 75 nylon wool blend. I think, let's see, I have the tag here. No, a 20 nylon and 80% virgin wool. So that's it. And the colors is this darkest one is burgundy, number 140, and the pink one is light blush in 334. And I'm using 2mm needles to make this because this is 72 stitches. Normally I use 56 stitches, but you could say, oh, but you're working on color work, but I really want this to fit snugly because it's warm. And at the moment I tested, it fits still. It fits around my foot and so on. There is there is a little bit of stretch in it, but not a lot. Maybe if you show you this, like I'm really looking that my floats are the right length, but not too long and not too short. So yeah, but they fit, so no need to go to another needle size. It's working out how I want it. So yes. I also remembered while on the train, I was like, if you look here, you can really see this is a clear line, and if you look here, you see the individual stitches. And this is because I changed how I hold my yarns. So normally you hold your contrast color in your left hand, so this would be the red, so that one pops more. And for one reason or another, I started doing this, and then from like here on outwards, I changed them, how I held them. But it's still, you can still see that there is a line there. So my idea was finishing this one, now how I'm doing it, because if I change again, it will look silly. And then just going with the other one as well in this way. And you can still see the pattern. It's just less of a very clear line, but who will be looking so close to my stitches that they will see it? Like, whatever. And maybe I was thinking I do the second one changed around with the contrast color in my left hand like it should be, and then we could compare the two next to each other, because it should not make any difference on my gauge, but it can make a difference on how it looks. Because I think if you look in the back, you can almost see there is a line here, so it's like you do one by one color work here, and you stagger them to get this pattern, and then you can really see clearly the line here. And I think that is where I changed how I held my yarns, because like one was more forwards than the other one, but now it's fine, whatever. I'll see when I start the next sock, but I'm not rushing these ones. These other ones, like I need to have a little bit of time to work on it, because like 1 or 2 rows doesn't go very quickly, and if I can keep like work a couple of more rows, it goes faster because I'm into the pattern again. So yeah, maybe I'll work on this again on the tray. I don't know. I find I really love it. Or like on the evenings when I had a very long and tiring day, I sometimes like working on these ones for say half an hour. Then I have about 6 rows on them, but it really gives me some peace because I really have to count and do everything, and that makes it like I can't think of anything else except for this, and then maybe a podcast I'm listening to, or a podcast knitting podcast I'm watching, or a movie or something, whatever. So that's that. Then my next one whip, oh, yarn is falling down, is lying here. So I have a little poof here where it was lying on top of. It's not at the greatest place to show you, but I just didn't want to stop didn't want to like finish this first and then start filming, because that would take 10 minutes longer, and yeah, I just wanted to get this one done. Let's see, last week or 2 weeks ago I was here just before the sleeve slit. So I have split for sleeves and I am working down the body. I am you can't really see it at the moment now. If I would wear it, it would fit. If I do the hem, it would fit perfectly on this skirt, but this skirt is a very high-waisted, so I have to see how much longer I want it to be, like the good length to wear with my pants without it being too big. I do not want to tuck it in. So yeah, so my idea at the moment is, so as you can see, it had normally it's scrunched up, but now it has 2 pairs of needles in it because I'm changing over on which needles I'm working on. Let me try to show you. If you see, I don't know, can you see? There's a blue cable in here and there's a red cable here. So the blue cables are the ones for smaller circumference, but all my cables were in use when I started this project. So I put 2 blue cables with a connector in between to get like just big enough to work for it. And now that almost all my projects are finished, because I only have the blanket, that one sock, and this on the needles at the moment. All my needles are free, and last night I twisted off all my tips because I use interchangeable needles, and like coiled up all my cords and put them together, and I was like, oh, I have a free cord. So I am putting this on the cord that's normal one, and then I'm going to use the biggest blue cable I have to start on the sleeves, because I want to finish the sleeves first, and then I can like try it on, and it will be how it would look finished. And then I can see how much longer I want it, and also I'm sure I won't be running out of yarn, but I want to make sure that I definitely have the length of sleeves I want, and then see how far I can get. So as I said, this is the Tulsa tee. This is a pattern by Rebecca Clow of the Creabea Knitting Podcast. I am making size 5 in, let's try to see if I have the label here. Yes, in Stranded Dyeworks from Jude in the UK. And this is merino nylon fingering in the colorway Flower Crown, which is, it's like, it's a variegated gray, or like the variation is maybe some very light purple, but it has different shades of purple and different shades of green in it. And like where I changed skeins, you can really see that it's a different skein because it has a different green in it. Let me try to show you, because like on the first skein it really had, I don't know if you can see this light green, and now it has this more darker green, but I didn't want to like alternate skeins and all of that, and it works out perfectly because it's like a little bit of a different purple and a little bit of a different green, but it has so many speckles in it that you do not see it. So this will hopefully be finished next week. Definitely when you see it, because as you have seen, like I've worked a lot on this, and when I work on this is when I need easy knitting. So like when I'm talking with friends, which has happened over the time, but also in class, because I have one class where I knit during class, but in my morning routine, so even before, when I wake up, I do some stretches and stuff, and then I knit and read for about half an hour, and then I eat, and then I put clothes on, and whatever knitting time I have left over, then I knit on my blanket, which is most of the time about half an hour before I need to get to my morning classes. But yeah, so I've been knitting on this, and in the evenings as well, knitting and reading on this one. So yeah, that's that. So I'll keep it out while editing this podcast. I can finish off my changing over the needles, and then maybe start on the sleeve, that I have that ready for tonight, because I need easy knitting tonight. Okay, and then the other whip I have is a cross stitch whip. It's maybe not in the best shape, but whatever. So this is it. This is from a Duo Mandala kit by DMC. No, I do not have the picture here with me. So like the first cross stitch I showed you was a mandala one. This is the second one in that kit. And it has more like backstitch designs in it as well. So as you can see, like this will be mirrored here, and whatever I'm doing here will come here as well. But I started with the backstitching because it starts in the middle, and then I went around, and now I'm like not sure if I counted completely correct. So I just started with the cross stitching design, like the cross stitches, to make sure it's correct. And also you can see there's like a thread hanging here and hanging there, and on the back there's a couple of loose ones as well. And this is just because I can't really anchor them or like fasten them with these back stitches, because it's just one thread. And when you have cross stitching, let me try to show you, you have this back, you can just like weave them through like you would in anything, and fasten your ends. So I'm waiting until I have like the cross stitches done in between, so I can finish it up. But yeah, this is the one that I'm working on now. And yeah, it's one of my new passions, and I just do it a little bit every day. And like some days I want to go all out, and in the evening I'm not knitting and reading, but I'm listening to an audiobook and working on this, and sounds perfect. So maybe I can tell you now about my idea before I go on, because this is like my last whip, and then I have just future plans and acquisitions. So one of my acquisitions, you will see in acquisitions, is a cross stitch pattern, but I also have, which I've shown you before, I have another kit from DMC, which is not going to, like, you work it in a hoop, but it's a rectangular one, and that one has all like plants and mushrooms in it. It's like more fall type, so this is gonna be the next one. And then I have just a big blank fabric like this, and I have this complete booklet of all different types of of plants, and like in water and not on shelves. So I'm thinking like what I want to do with that one, because I bought like the thread to go with that one. So I'm looking at how I want to do that. Do I want to make like a shelf or something where there's these plants on it, or am I gonna do small ones and put them in hoops like this? So there were the threads going. And I put them in hoops like this, and I have all these different plants. I don't know. I think I have to stitch one of them firstly to be sure how big they are, depending on like if you know, like you have the size of the chart, but then you can say like this chart is smaller or bigger than that one I've made already. But it's like, is it as big as this one? Is it smaller? I don't know. So that's one of the next ones I want to start. And one of the things that comes with that is storage for your cross stitches. So you have like in this in the kit from the plant I got, they were hanging like this on this card. So what I've done for like the DMC kits, I got, so you have the yarns, you get small skeins. You can like it's similar to a yarn skein, but it's just like very small ones with threads. And you, in like kits, you get even smaller ones. Like I didn't have enough of the pink for this one. It does need a lot, but I used all of the pink in my other one, probably because I was not the best at cross stitching and like knowing how to start it and how to end it and all of that, and like how many like Do you start again or not, or just like go over so many stitches or whatever? So now I've been watching some more videos about it. I learned the loop start, which is so handy to just, if you're doing double thread cross stitch, which I'm doing at the moment, so much easier. You do not have to like weave in your starting end. You only have your like the end you have left over at the end of your threads. So yeah, but it's easiest if you store them on something which has a hole, and then you can just pull out one thread because you work with 1 or 2 threads. So at the moment I'm using this, but I am looking into maybe buying a hole puncher that makes a big hole, and then just using some leftover cardboard I have from like cereal boxes or pizza boxes, and just like making, say, will be like this. It just has a hole. You can, like you can see here, I wrote the numbers on top, and then you can go from there, because I am getting more and more of these skeins, and I want to store them in like an efficient way. So at the moment I'm using this, and I'm looking how I can store this, because you can like buy so much stuff, but I do not want to buy like some plastic one with which has this hole, when I can just buy a hole punch which has a bigger hole, and just punch some holes in some cardboard and have it like this. So that's one of the things I've been doing as well, watching a lot of cross stitch stuff. And then I fell in love with full coverage cross stitch, which is, if you, let's get this one as an example. As you look here, you have a lot of white space still left. If this would have been a full coverage cross stitch, it would have been completely filled out with cross stitches, but maybe there would be a blue sky or something around this ones. So that's full coverage. You fill every single stitch, or like every single hole with a stitch, which is like a lot of stitches. Like this was a lot already, and it's a small one. And you have like these very big ones, which is like, yes, I'm gonna do that. And I'm like, no, first finish off this one, finish off the ones you have, and then maybe you can start a big one. Because I had this idea, I'm gonna make this very big one, maybe from a fantasy movie or something, and listen, like I want to listen to the Game of Thrones books, which I did my research, where are 133 hours of listening. So that's a lot, but that's like, I want to have a dedicated project to do it. Yeah, I have all the creative energy at the moment, but not the time, because exam season is coming up. So yeah, I was like, no, you have some kits left, use those ones first and see how you like it. I'm also going to see my grandma at the weekend and talk to her about some ideas, and see, she has some supplies that I can maybe use or something. So yeah, before we dive in and I buy 100 little skeins, which are like, yeah, they just cost just under just €1.99. I think it's at Veritas. Like, yeah, that's only €2, but if you buy 100 of them, that's €200. It's like buying hand-dyed yarn or something. It feels like. So I'm holding off on that and just doing what I want, like how I'm doing it now, and then building up to maybe like a bigger full coverage one, but not like these big ones. So yeah, but welcome to my brain, and welcome to like hyperfixation on something and not wanting to study. That's like one of the reasons I started this podcast. So it's easy for me that I can now ramble on about it without other people that are not interested in it. Okay, so that's that. Then some of my other future plans are scrappy socks, which, where are they? Nope, yeah, the project bag fell down. No, this is not where I have it. It's in here. It's in here. No, I want to make scrappy socks and a muscle burrow hat in like the same yarn, you could say. So let's first show you what I want to make my muscle burrow hat. So this is yarn from Les Garçons from Canada, that I had the Mysterious Mountains Club, which had 3 big skeins with a mini in it. This is not the mini that's going with this one. Where is the right one? This is the one I need. So at the moment it's all just in one project bag before I start it and go with it. This is the mini that goes with it. So this is a Mysterious Bear, and this is Max's Khaki. These ones are yak sock yarn, so it's 70% superwash nylon, 20% yak and 10% nylon. So they're very soft. And I used the other skeins from these kits, which I'll show you the scraps of, and then I'll tell you the names, in my Westnitz MKAL, the Geo Gradient from this year, which, if you want to know, I gave to my mom because those are her colors. They're very soft because she does not like scratchy wool, and and I have more than enough shawl, so like I was happy to give it to her. But I wanted something for myself in this yarn, and I don't know why, but this yarn I just see as a musselburgh hat, because like I think this brown will go good. Like I have brown hair and I have brown eyes, but I think this is like, I don't know, I just want a musselburgh hat in this, but like this green goes perfectly with it. So so the musselburgh hat, for those of you who don't know it maybe, is by Isolde Teak. I'll put in a picture here. Like now I have place to last time I switched up the camera angle and I was pointing this way to put in a picture, but I only had place that way, so the picture will be there. Editing Sam had a good laugh with that. So but I'll be using Nitty Natty's video, which she made about all her musselburghs, and like I have a hat that I really like the length of, which can be a little bit longer, but I really want to like fold it up. So let me try to explain you. So a musselburgh hat is like if you would have two hats together and you push like one into the other, so then you have just your hat with like 2 layers of fabric, and when you put it on your head you fold it over, you fold the brim over as well, so you have 4 layers around your ears, which will be very warm and toasty. And I want the brim to be this khaki color. Just this is what I want. So this is gonna be my project I'll have with me once I'm finished the Tolslati, which will be like once you've done the increases and I just know where I need to put in my brim color, it will just fly smoothly, and this will then be my like reading and knitting, or like the holidays are coming up, family party and knitting yarn. So that's that. Let's put this here. And then with like if you followed along with the MKAL, the first clue that we made was changed later on, and I changed my clue as well, but I kept the first square, and there were just a lot of little ends, like small balls of yarn, small tails. Put in a picture because I took it out. I am not showing you the clue just because we are steering away from that, but this is how like I had all these small little balls from like the smallest ones. I'll put in the picture here. I put them all in a basket, and then I made like, they're about all 4 grams. I have them here. So these are the colors, which I tell you about, but these ones were like all not even 1 gram scraps. So I put them in a magic knot balls, which will be going into my magic knot cake for my Northeast. Maybe it's easiest if I hold them now so I can show you. Maybe let's go for these ones first. So these two are from the Mysterious Mountains, the yak sock, which I tell you about in a minute, and these two are from Wool Atelier Het Wolbeest. No, Atelier Het Wolbeest, which is a Dutch dyer, and I got one of her Hobbit themed boxes, and I chose for BFL yarn. So this is the elves colorway, and this is the dwarfs, which like with the inspo picture works perfectly. So those are that ones. And then I have like all these small balls you saw on my keyboard of my laptop are in here, except for the smaller ones that are in the box. And then I also so these 2 colors, am I now like putting the right balls into the right, let's see how they match up. So we have Mysterious Squirrel, which is this red one, which has this mysterious no, Squirrel's Nuts Mini. So this is the yak sock one, so I had about 100 grams of this one, and now I have, I don't know, 20 grams of leftovers, something like that, which are going to be in my blanket and in these scrappy socks. And I have 20 grams of this mini. And then we had Mysterious Goat with Pepper's Mint, and this is this one. So all those So the 4 small balls you saw earlier are in like all these small balls are going into a scrappy sock, which I think I'm gonna be using this as heels, toes and cuffs, and then this as like striping in between the other ones, because like, let me maybe show you, like I have this 2 small balls which will go in one sock each, and yes, so those ones I really want to start, but I'm like first finish up a couple of other projects and then see how it goes, because this is the first time I'm doing scrappy socks like this. I did scrappy socks with my rainbow yarn, but that meant I just went from one color into the next, and then I had shorty ones which was just all one color and just rainbow at the top. But now I'm gonna be striping them, so I think probably gonna look at some ideas from Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, who has a lot of scrappy socks like this, and yeah, how to do it. And like once I start it, I can see like how much yarn I have. I don't know how big they're gonna be, because whatever, we'll see. So that's that. Yes, then I told you about my cross stitch ideas. And I have one more thing. I want to do some crochet as well, because it's exam season, means I'm gonna be writing a lot, and I'm also gonna be knitting. So the thing is, I'm gonna be cross stitching as well, which is another movement, and also like to crochet something, which is another movement as well, to just change up my hand, because sometimes I get some tension here or I get some tension. Like, yes, I have 2 months coming up of, is it 2 months? 6 weeks. It's about 6 weeks, I think, from like it's whole of January and the rest of December. So yes, six weeks of like a lot of writing and knitting and like doing. So I want to start a crochet project as well. And I don't know, I don't really have anything I want to crochet at the moment. Like I have a top I want to crochet, but I'm not completely sure about the color and so on. So I was like, I want to make small things. It's like instant gratification, because I want to knit larger things, because I'm gonna start one of my Advent sweater cardigans. They're both cardigans. One of my Advent cardigans, which I told you about in the last episode. So that will be like a big project and will take longer, and I want like small things. So the idea is to make an amigurumi animal toy, and then maybe make a basket for it, or maybe make some stuff for it, like a bag or a hat, and I want to make clothes for it. I want to make this for the girl that I'm babysitting. She's 8 years old, but she has some developmental issues. So she goes to a special school and all, but she's so lovely. She has her harder times as well, but she's very lovely. And on certain days, I go pick her up from the bus. We walk home together. I give her something to eat, and we play. On other days, I do this as well. But then she sits on. I use the electrical bike from her mom, and she sits at the back, and we bike to her gymnastics class, and I wait for her, and we bike back, and during all that, and she has seen me knitting, and she once we had to wait for something, and I was just finishing up, and she sat on my lap and did a couple of stitches with me, and she's always interested in like the soft sweaters I'm wearing and all of that. So I'm like, yeah, I want to make something for her, but like not tiny because I think then she would lose her stuff and all of that. So I want to make like, say, maybe like even one of the bigger amigurumis I've shown you before, like the kangaroo and the fox. But the problem is that it's from a book, which is perfect, and I use a DK weight yarn to make these bigger ones, and they're very soft, and they can be washed if necessary, but they don't have clothes. So today I'm gonna see her, so I want like figure out what her favorite animal is, because I asked somebody and they were like, I don't know, maybe a dog. She really likes Rubble from Paw Patrol, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but that's like not the idea that I have. So I'm gonna ask her, maybe show her some pictures. Maybe this could be, she could go to through a couple of patterns, and I could like give it a spin and try to ask her, because I want to knit crochet days for one of my cousins or something. I don't know. I'll see. Maybe this could be an activity we do tonight. So that's what I want to do, and then once I have that, I'll just start it. I'll I have Stylecraft in different colors, which I would like to use because it's a perfect DK weight acrylic yarn for this one. And then, or maybe I'll have to order some. But you'll see that once I get there. So those are my future plans. I have some acquisitions to show you, which can become future plans as well. So first up, I have told you I have the advent calendar from a homespun house, and I want to make, like last year I had as well, and normally there was gonna be a bag included for it, so I paid for the bag, but things went wrong and there were no more bags, or there were no bags, I don't exactly know, but they sent me a message like, hi, there's gonna be no bag in your order, do you want a coupon or do you want your money back? And I was like, I would like a coupon so I can buy some more yarn from you, and that's what I did. So maybe I should hold it right. So I got this color. So this is soft sock fingering, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. This is in the same base, but this is just 100 grams and this is 50 grams because, like, I don't. It's like this was. I had the 40 euro coupon and this was 30 euros, so I had 10 more euros and this was 15. So I was like, I buy this and I just have to pay 5 euros for yarn. What's in my deal? What's in my head? So this is the colorway Ash, and this is the, how would I say this? This is gonna be the contrast color for my rattan. So I'll put in a picture again. I talked about this last time. So I'm gonna use one of my two advents. I'm not completely sure which one yet to make this, but you need one skein of contrast color, and I really like last year I used a light gray and I still have that light gray, but I want to use a darker yarn, and I went for this dark gray. That's an ash, but it's still a little bit variegated, so I think will be interesting. And then this burgundy red wine color is lingonberry. So this is just completely the same, soft sock fingering, but in 50 grams. So I am thinking of making some socks with this. This can be perfectly socks on their own, so then will be shorty socks, or I have gray leftover from last year. I have a mini sock set, or maybe one of the advent colors will work with this. I don't know. I just needed another yarn to like fulfill the coupon or like the gift card I had, and I just fell in love with this color. So yeah, we'll see. Or maybe I have leftovers. I don't know. This one is not gonna be started soon. This one could be started soon if I start the advent garden, which I am leaning more and more towards while seeing my second advent being revealed. And then also from a homespun house, like I bought my advent calendar in the beginning of April, which was a long time ago. And then in October, like I told you before, I got sick, but even before I got sick, I was busy with school and I was feeling sorry for myself. And I think I shared that I bought this, and I was like, oh, I want something, I don't know. So I bought the sock set advent calendar, which means on every Sunday of Advent, which started on the 3rd of December, so we have had 2 Sundays now, you open a sock set, which I have here. So this is also on the soft sock fingering. I chose for a 70 gram sock set, so that means I have a 50 gram full skein and a 20 gram mini, because it was cheaper, because you didn't buy 100 grams of the main color, but also because I've made socks before with 70 grams, and it's like the perfect amount to have a tall sock without a lot of leftovers, just enough leftovers to go into the blanket. So that's this. So this one is the first one, and this is called The Most Wonderful Time. And Molly, I was watching her Patreon, and she was working on the socks in the sock set, and she had like a very cool texture pattern, so I think I want to make some texture pattern with this. And then the second of Sunday of Advent is called Twinkle Lights, so maybe I'll try. So it's like, it's a beigey pink with a lot of speckles, and then this gorgeous, I don't know, pinky purple color. So yes, these are the first two ones I have. And this one, I don't know, I have a couple of sock patterns I have already that I want to make, so maybe this is gonna be one of those. So that's that. But I am not starting these ones yet because I have my Selbu socks on the go. I want to start the scrappy socks, and yeah, I don't want to at the moment. I just want to look at them. So yes, good. Then I bought a new project bag yesterday, and it's not a normal project bag because it's like you don't buy it for a project. I think it would be like a makeup bag. So it's from Pip Studio. So if you can see, like, this little girl with a birdie on her head. It's this gorgeous dark moody flower color print, and it's like one of those ones that sits open, and it's like fully lined with, like, as you can hear, it's like a canvas. It has a big pocket here, and it has a zipper pocket on this side, and this is where my scrappy socks will live, because I'm thinking I'll put all the little balls of scrap into this pocket so they don't roll around and then I have one tangled mess. And yeah, I just really like that it zips like this but then sits open like this. So yes, and I wanted, like, I went to the shop because this is a shop, I'll link it, it's close to where I go to school, to campus, and I bike and walk past it a couple of times a week. And for the holiday season they're open longer, or like on more days. And I was like, I'll need some presents still, and I went in and I didn't really found anything like what I was looking for, because I was looking for a very Christmassy mug, and they had like some mugs but not like what I wanted. But then I saw this and I was like, yes, but like the price for this, it's like, it's a present for myself, and it was like the same price you would have for other project bags. And like this is Pip Studio is a brand I know, which I think I could call sustainable, that I'm not completely sure, but they're definitely it's a more expensive brand, which in my eyes reflect to the laborers who work for this brand being paid right. Don't take me on those words exactly, because I have not done my research into it. Maybe I should have when thinking about it now, but that's just how it is. So yes, I think this is a makeup bag or something, but whatever. This is gonna be my project bag, because like I have a lot of, like, I showed you this, like this smaller project bag that's fold down and all of that, but like I can put my scrappy socks and my musclebearer hat in this, and if I spill water on it, it will be fine. I can wash it off. It's like one of those ones, if I want to put it down somewhere, I'm like, oh, this is not clean, I could completely like wash this. So I'm thinking even of putting my Selbu socks in them to going on the train, and if I put this somewhere on the train where it's like not completely clean, that's no problem, because I can wash it off. So the shop is Pot and Papaver, which I'll link if somebody is in the Leuven area or in somewhere in Belgium and would want to go. I recommend it. It's a cute shop. They have cute things, and it's like less of the just buy and use one stuff. So yes, I'll put it over there. Good. And then I have one more acquisition, and it's a cross stitch pattern, which I was talking about. I got this hedgehog. Sam put in. It's a digital one from Etsy, so this is my first time buying a digital pattern, and you can put it into Stitch Fiddle? No, Pattern Keeper. So that's an app that you have on your phone or on your tablet, and you can put in your pattern. You can even scan documents. So I've, like, for the mandala one, I scanned it and I can like, but it works not completely the same because it can't import the different symbols. But with the digital one, it sees the different symbols, which are like show you the different colors, and you just have to make sure that the symbol they have reflects in the right color. So you can choose using DMC thread in this colorway, and then the whole pattern fills out in the right colors, and it's so fun. And then you can choose like, oh, I want to work in this block, or I want to do all the stitches from this one color. And then yes, and how much more you're finishing up, you can see a percentage and all of that. So that's one of the things that I've heard about people talking when I was watching videos for my full coverage, and I was like, yes, I want to do one of these. And I was like, no, let's make a couple of bigger ones first. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons I'm going to see my grandma as well. I'll have my list of colors with me, see maybe she has some of the colors I can use, because like she's always like, yeah, you can use my stuff. I'm like, yeah, perfect. Now I maybe will, because I don't always need stuff because I have a lot myself. So yes, you'll see what I'm working on next. And then while searching for that, I came across so many beautiful cross stitch patterns. So yes, I have more than enough that I want to make. So I'll just have to see and learn. But this one, as you can see, has a black background, so I'm gonna be searching for some black fabric as well. So if my grandma has some, perfect, but I don't think so. I don't know why, but maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. If she doesn't, then next week I have not a lot of classes. At the end of the week, I'll go here in Leuven, and we have we have the Veritas where I can probably buy it, but there's like a haberdashery store as well, which I want to visit. So this seems like the perfect thing, and then also I can buy the colors that I don't have yet. So that's it, and that's one of the things I want to do as well. Like I told you, I want to have cardboard with and just buy a hole punch to make it, and then and I'm gonna make a list of all the colorways I have, because like as you can see, it has a lot of colors. These are 30, there are 30 colors in here, but like I'm not gonna use the full skein of all of those 30 colors. So if I want to make something else and it has like this color in it, I need to know and not just buy a new skein of this, which is only maybe 2 euros, but if it's not necessary, then we shouldn't buy it. So yes, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I've been talking a long time, but whatever, I had this cross stitch the obsession in this like last week this started, and then I'm just like, yes, I just want to work on this, but I can't all the time. So sometimes I just don't do it because I'm in this mindset of just going and going and going, which is not always the good mindset to be in, because I would cross stitch all day like that. So, and with my knitting, sometimes I have done it enough. Sometimes I want to knit all the time. I know like that project I can like put down after one row or after a couple of rows. So I am like learning when or when not to start cross stitching. So next to that obsession, which is very fun and fun to talk about, but I have not found the perfect people yet. So if you're a cross stitcher, let me know, and maybe you can share what you're working on with me. I would love to see that. What has happened in the last 2 weeks? Not a lot. Yeah, a lot and not a lot. Like a lot has happened, like from Sunday onward until like today, and in the next couple of days. But like the week before that, not a lot happened. Like I went to a nice restaurant with my family, and we ate. We played board games afterward at home, which was very fun. What else did we do? Last Sunday, like I told you, on Monday I was not here because I slept at home. Last Sunday evening we went to a castle close to my hometown, and there was I wouldn't call it a play, but you went from room to room, and there were actors that had like a small play, you could say, like yeah, a small part acting, and then you went to the next room, and yeah, it was very fun. And it's called Kerstmagie, so Christmas magic, if you translate it. And it was really, there were so many trees, presents, lights, Christmas balls, ornaments, everything. It was like, yeah, very fun to just do that. And yeah, and then also we were at I went with my mom, and there were some friends there we knew, so afterwards we had a drink, and we talked a lot, so that was fun. And then on the Monday morning I took an early train to get here because I needed to go to class. Then on Monday evening we celebrated a birthday from one of my friends with a couple of my other friends, and we cooked and we baked and we talked a lot, and it really was only a couple of hours. And in the beginning I was like, nah, I don't think I want to go, but I'm very happy I went, because I had a lot of fun. My social battery was filled, and it was like, yes, there was a lot of laughter, and I just like, this is what I needed before everything else was gonna happen. And then on Tuesday I had babysitting, because I always babysit on Tuesday and bring the girl I'm babysitting on to gymnastics. So that was the week before. I had 3 days of babysitting, which was a lot, but was very fun. And like, I love hanging out with her, but it's also fun that it's something that I get paid for as well. So it's like I can afford to buy this project bag and now buy some Christmas presents, which may be a little bit more expensive, but I'm still like, yeah, I'm still living on a student budget, but it's nice to have like an extra source of income to just buy these things. Or like, I want to buy 20 colors of DMC thread to work with. I can buy that without like going completely broke and just having fun, but still thinking about like, I do not need to buy all these thread minders and stuff that's very expensive. Like, I can make my own stuff. So that's like the stage of life where I'm at, you could say. And then after babysitting, I got home around 8, I think. We had knit night. So we talked about it about a year and a half ago. Somebody like, I had knit nights before with the Creator Bea and Caroline's knits, but they were very big, and then we got into smaller groups. But you have like a very big difference if people from America join and we from Europe join. It's like a very big time difference. Like, for us it can be very late at night, where it's for them it's like early evening or even afternoon. So that I have a knit night with Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. So she has a Patreon, which I'm a member of, and normally every month we meet up, which has not happened now because she had a baby. But normally next Wednesday we will having one. So I'm still deciding if I'm gonna join or not, because it's at 1 a.m. for me here. So it's like around 7, I think, for them. But like, I do not have class the next day, so trying to figure it out if I want to join or not, because I really like it. But so yeah, we had knit night, and there was somebody who was like, hi, yeah, I would love a knit night as well, but like not with so many people, and you could send her a message and you could be part of a knit night. But this got shared by another YouTuber, I think probably like a podcaster, probably like Rebecca from the Creavea, and then it seemed like a lot of people responded, and she made smaller groups. Without her, she chose some people for herself, but she made smaller groups, and we're like 4 of, like, I think we were with 6 or 8 or something that we started, but now there's 4 of us. I think, yeah, we're with 4 that really regularly meet up, but it had been a couple of weeks because sickness, and some of them have kids which then got sick and all of that. But we met up, we talked for, I think, 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, about 3 hours. So it was very fun. We could have kept on talking, but then it would have been too late for me to go to bed and to go to class the next day. But it was very fun, and yeah, also one of those things I needed to like recharge my social battery. So if this is something you do not have, I encourage you to find some like-minded people where you can talk about everything and anything, because we not only talk about knitting, and it's very fun. And then, so those were the last weeks. What is coming up is I have a concert tonight. So the friend's birthday we celebrated, she plays in an orchestra, and tonight they have a concert. So we're going to dinner with another couple of friends, and then we're going to see the orchestra. So that's why I need some simple knitting, which the Tulsa tee is gonna be. I just have to figure out if I'm gonna go to the sleeve, or, which I think is like the best thing to do, just do the sleeve, and then I do not have to decide on how long I want the body to be at the moment. So yes, or that, like, I was thinking of starting the muscle burrow for that one, but I do not have time to start that because I have class, and then I'm going to take care of the girl I'm babysitting, so I just can't start it. So yeah, it's gonna be Tosat. And then next week I have a presentation, but I already like had a practice one for that, which went well, so like no trouble. But like for a big group, and like I like talking, but for a big group it's always like a little bit iffy. So I have a presentation, I have a first exams. It's it's, the course is called biological data analysis, but just a statistics course. So I don't have to study theory for that, but I have to learn, work with this program, and just know how to do something. So that's what I'm doing. And also I have a quiz from one of my courses, which means I need to learn some of the things we need to do for that quiz. And if like we get a good enough score, we do not need to know that for the exam, which is nice. So I am also learning for that. And then after that, so I have the presentation on Monday, and then the quiz in the morning, and the exam in the afternoon for on Tuesday. So on Wednesday I have a Q&A session for a class, so that's like cool. On Thursday I think I have my exercise session like I have today, maybe class in the afternoon, but depends. And on Friday I don't have class at all anymore, so it's like very fun going up because I don't have a lot of classes anymore. And then if we have classes, it's more of Q&A sessions, because it's like the last week of the semester and most of it is already done. But that means that I can just like start studying, but also like I want to go to a Christmas market. What else? I have to buy some presents still, and then I can go to that haberdashery where I want to buy some supplies maybe for my cross stitching. I don't know. So yeah, that. And something I want to tell you about. Tomorrow, normally I have class from like 11:30 until 1, and I was planning on after 1 just going straight to the station, eating on the train, because I want to take the train for an hour, which is like not going home, but it's like closer to home, because normally I have a 2.5 hour train ride, and then from where I'm gonna be after I've taken the train for now, it's a 2 hour train ride, so it's a little bit close to home. But there is a yarn shop there, which I have not been to in person, but I have like made the purchase from online, and they are having a big sale, because I don't know if they're moving or if they're just like cleaning up or whatever, but they're having up to 60% off. And I have a pattern I want to make, and they have the yarn, and then maybe they have some other yarns. Like for the Daft Days cardigan I need a DK weight, and maybe they have that yarn there. So yes, I'm going there but I don't have class, so I can just leave here in the morning when I'm ready. So I think maybe around 10. I think it's a 10:15 when the train leaves, so around 10 here, going to the station on the train for an hour. And I think I need to take the bus for 10 minutes or something, and then I'm very close to where the yarn shop is. I can go to the yarn shop, and like maybe I'd be there around 11:30 or something, and then I can stay, and then I can take the train home around 1 or 2, which means I'm earlier home than normally. Normally I'm home around 7, then I will be home around 4, which means I can see my cousin who comes over on Friday. My mom and my sister look after him after school, but I haven't seen him because I'm not home before he leaves, so I can see him, and I can just be home relaxing, and maybe I can see my grandma that evening. Or I have some things I want to do in my room at home. I need to clean up because I'm gonna be staying home for 3 weeks to study there, so I need to clean up, and like I want to change some things around to make it the perfect study place. So maybe I can do that, and I can just hang out at home, and it's like sounds like the perfect day. But like I say, I'm gonna be leaving around 10, so I have about 2 hours in the morning I can work as well, because I still have to not forget that I have exams. It's like yeah, like I know what's coming up, and then it's like, oh, it's in a couple of days, but still I have enough time, so I go back and forward. But like on the weekend I have nothing planned except for going to my grandma, so I have time to study then. That's like my idea, and like this is gonna be a treat for me for whatever. And it's a sale, and it's like fun and whatever. I'm gonna have some fun because like it's open on the weekend as well, but I'm not gonna get there because it's like kind of on my way home, could be on my way home. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. And I think I have rambled on long enough. This is a much longer episode than I thought it would be. I hope to see you in 2 weeks, but I am not completely sure because I'll be studying, so I'm definitely gonna be knitting. But I'll be at home, so I'll have to see, like, maybe because at home I like, so it's gonna be in between Christmas and New Year's, the next episode, and I love filming at home in front of the bookshelves, but my dad is home for the holidays from work. My sister doesn't have school. My mom has to work but is home most afternoon, so it's like it doesn't work really out if I want to record there. So I'm gonna be probably recording my room, which will have, I don't know what kind of background, but yeah, I'll try to record in 2 weeks. Like I can record like this segment in my break, or like I can break it up in a couple of segments and just record it during my breaks and then edit it. And like if it doesn't come out on the day it normally comes out, it's like fine, whatever. And if I don't see you on Christmas Eve, I'm seeing family. On Christmas Day, I'm seeing family. On New Year's Eve, I am celebrating with my friends who are coming over, and we are having it at my home, and then we at my house, and we're gonna eat together and have fun, and then have a fire, and yeah, sounds perfect. And also, I'm gonna be studying and knitting and crochet and cross stitch. I'm gonna be doing all of those things. Yes, I think I'm gonna sign off now. I rambled on long enough. I hope you had some lovely knitting time, or I could have held you company while you're doing other stuff. I love watching videos like that as well while I'm cleaning and stuff. So yes, I'm gonna sign off for now and go edit this and then go to class. And yes, that's all. If you loved watching this, if you love watching me ramble, because that's one of the things I love, when people just ramble on and I can just follow whatever is on their head, you can like this video, you can subscribe, which then when the next video is up, you can see it in your feed or under subscriptions. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say. Have a nice day, evening, morning, whatever time it is. Have a good holidays and New Year's if I don't see you before that, and otherwise, bye!